So it looks like some projects that a lot of people thought might have been canceled, we've even heard some rumors that they were canceled, aren't canceled. And it looks like Marvel Studios has some pretty specific plans for them. But most importantly, the characters that Marvel Studios has plans for are characters that we really care about, and are characters that we have wanted to make their MCU debut for some time now. We are talking about Nova and Ghost Rider. And we'll also be talking about Vision Quest and the Silver Surfer. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder. I'm Warren Thompson, and I'm happy to say that we've gotten a new report stating that these characters we thought might not come are indeed still coming. Marvel Studios still has plans for them to make their MCU debuts. This is also coming with the news that Marvel Studios is now implementing a new content strategy for Disney+. We did a video about this yesterday, describing the new content strategy for Marvel and explaining what it means for the future of the MCU, but basically, Marvel Studios has introduced a new category called Marvel Spotlight, which will basically be one-off stories in the MCU about characters who you don't really need to see any other projects previously in the MCU to understand the story of the current project. Echo is the first project to get the Marvel Spotlight banner on it, which means you can go into Echo blind. You don't have to see anything prior, including Hawkeye, which she was in. Marvel Studios has expressed that these are one-off comic stories, which you can watch casually. It's a casual viewing experience. You don't have to worry about what came before or what came after. Just enjoy the story as it is. And according to some insiders, more heroes are going to fall under this category. Heroes that we are really looking forward to, like Nova and Ghost Rider. So let's dive into what Marvel Studios has planned. And a big reminder, if you subscribe and leave a comment, you are automatically entered in our giveaway for a chance to win a PS5 and Xbox Series X, some Marvel Legends items, and some DC items as well. The winner picks one item, and we pick a winner at the end of each month. Also, I'm still sick, so pardon my voice. So with the introduction of the category of Marvel Spotlight, a lot of people have been wondering which projects exactly are going to fall under this category, and specifically, who is going to fall under this category? Which Marvel characters are we going to get series about that are essentially going to be one-off stories? Well, let me first clarify that just because something may debut under the Marvel Spotlight category does not mean that in the future it won't have an impact. So if a character debuts under a Marvel Spotlight like the Silver Surfer, just because it's a one-off story that you don't need to know what's happened in the MCU in the past to watch and enjoy, that doesn't mean that this character won't go on in the future to connect with another MCU project or appear in one, like the Silver Surfer appearing in the Fantastic Four film. Echo is the perfect example and a great debut for Marvel Spotlight because the story itself, you're not going to need to know what's happened in the past in the MCU. However, we already know that this show overall does connect to the larger MCU because Daredevil is going to be in Echo, Kingpin is in Echo as well, and both are going to appear in the Daredevil series. Obviously, Daredevil's appearing, and Kingpin's going to be the main villain as well. So, just because the specific story we'll be watching in the Echo series is a secluded, one-off, grounded story, it doesn't mean that we won't see connections to the MCU. However, these stories are just going to be very grounded and secluded, and again, you don't need to know what is going on in the entire MCU to focus on this one story. The account Scarlet Witch Updates said this in a tweet: Marvel Studios introduces Marvel Spotlight banner. Spotlight gives us a platform to bring more grounded, character-driven stories to the screen. Our audience doesn't need to have seen other Marvel series to understand what's happening. And that is by Brad Winderbaum, executive producer at Marvel Studios. But then they ask, what projects would you like to see? And Alex P. from the Cosmic Circus has confirmed in a reply to this tweet, Nova and Ghost Rider definitely go here. Now, we've had reports in the past that Nova and Ghost Rider were both supposed to get their own special presentations from Disney+. This was going to be a way to introduce these characters before they go on to appear in other MCU projects, kind of giving them their own spotlight. So it looks like Marvel Studios might kind of be shifting away from special presentations to Marvel Spotlight projects, which are kind of going to be the same thing, with the exception that now under Marvel Spotlight, you don't need to know what happened anywhere else before in the MCU. Take, for example, the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special presentation. For that, you definitely had to know who the Guardians of the Galaxy were, what their relationship was before. You had to watch Guardians 2 to know Mantis. You had to know the relationship between all of the Guardians, plus you had to know the Kevin Bacon big reference for Peter Quill. So we're probably still going to continue to get special presentations for movies and shows like that, but these Marvel Spotlight banner projects are going to be perfect for introducing introducing new characters who have great stories of their own, who don't have to, but can go on to be involved in these bigger projects. For example, Nova should definitely go on to be a part of the Guardians of the Galaxy, or even just go on to be his own hero and team up with some other heroes, perhaps in an Avengers film later on in the future. Maybe Kang Dynasty, maybe Secret Wars. Same thing with Ghost Rider, and I'm really glad that they are still planning on making the Nova and Ghost Rider special presentation / Marvel Studios banner projects, because I was really excited for both characters, but Ghost Rider is a specific character that can have his own story, kind of do his origin story, but then have him appear in another film that is not necessarily his own film. For example, if they decided to do a Midnight Suns project, or they decided to put him in maybe Blade or another supernatural project, we would have already gotten his origin story to where we wouldn't need it in that film. The Silver Surfer is another one that the Cosmic Circus reported some time ago that was supposed to get its own special presentation to introduce the Silver Surfer ahead of the Fantastic Four. And although Alex P does state that Nova and Ghost Rider are definitely coming under the Marvel Spotlight banner, we haven't really heard much recently about the Silver Surfer special presentation, so unfortunately we're not sure if that is still happening at this moment. But Nova and Ghost Rider are. And speaking of projects that we didn't know if they were canceled or not, it looks like Vision Quest is not canceled. Joanna Robinson, one of the authors of MCU, The Reign of Marvel Studios, stated that it's all but canceled. However, when these reports came out, some people like Alex Perez and My Time to Shine Hello did dispute this fact and state that these projects were still in the works. Wonder Man was another project mentioned, but we don't have an update for that at this point in time. However, yesterday, My Time to Shine Hello came out and stated they are still working on Vision Quest, not canceled, which is great news because this project was supposed to be very important to the future of the MCU. This project was supposedly and reportedly going to set up the Children's Crusade, which essentially was going to be a Young Avengers project, simply not titled the Young Avengers. However, it has been said that the Marvels is also supposed to set up a Young Avengers project as well, so it would make sense that Vision Quest has not been canceled. Plus, Marvel Studios did tease us with Spectral Vision or White Vision in the finale of WandaVision. He just took off, went away, and we have not heard anything about him yet. We do know that in Vision Quest, he's supposed to get his own family like he does in the comics. And we also hope that eventually down the line, the Scarlet Witch will somehow be reunited with Spectral Vision, who should have all of his memories thanks to the other Vision that Wanda created for herself in Westview. But this Vision is real. And if he has all of the memories that the original one had, then in theory, Wanda and this Spectral Vision should be able to get together and be pretty much the same as it was before. Granted, this Vision establishes an emotional connection with Wanda as well. So it's good news that this isn't canceled. It's great news that Nova and Ghost Rider are still coming to the MCU. We're super excited about that, but let us know all of your thoughts about this in the comments down below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you can stay up to date on all the latest MCU news. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter as well. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.